So I wanted to get a new modeler, and I looked into what's around at the moment because I really like the ease of use of the Line 6 Helix modelers, and I really love the sound of the Tonex. But Tonex is quite difficult to to tweak whilst you're playing, so to speak, because you have to go into menus and stuff like that. Where the Line 6 stuff is very easy to tweak. So basically, I was looking at something that could do models like profiles, and it was really easy to use at a touchscreen, and it was quite small, so to speak, like in the same footprint as the Tonex. So I did a bit of research, and I found this Ampero Stomp, which literally, as I unpacked it and boxed it, I wasn't quite impressed with it, but as I started to look more into it, this thing is incredible, honestly. Not just for the money, in general. And if you use the profiles, then now basically it allows you to load NAM profiles, and it allows you to make profiles with a unit, which is super simple. It literally takes 30 seconds to profile a pedal or an amp or anything, and or a plugin, or another modeler, so to speak, a presetter of another modeler. So basically, what I did, I took my favorite presets or NAM models that I use already, and I basically put them all, or profiled them, and put them all in the Ampero 2 Stomp. Of course, you run out of power very quickly, so to speak. So I'm still using pedals, which is something I enjoy using. In this pedal board, I have the Gladio and an EQ. But because I have profiled the Gladio and a lot of other stuff, a lot of other pedals, I think at some point I will get maybe just using the Stomp plus maybe like a MIDI controller and a volume wah, because the sounds you can get with this thing are really good if you use the NAM profiles. I think I don't want to sound too, I hate saying bad things about sounds, but in general, I think, I find that sometimes the sounds that are made for a mix are not really that inspiring to play. I don't know, a massive generalization, but I just wanted to make some sounds that I enjoy playing, and then I can give to the sound engineer during the gigs to do whatever he wants. So basically, I profiled some of the stuff that I use already, and I made some presets. And as always, I will allow people to use these presets as they wish. Thank you again for people that downloaded the presets and made a donation. It's very much appreciated. I give the presets for free, but it's much appreciated for you to make a donation. It keeps me making more presets. So we'll add a folder, the Ampero 2 Stomp folder. This is just a very quick first impression video. I will show at the end of the video how to download these presets, how to use them. Very quickly, let's go through the few presets that I have made. So I've made a kind of basic clean preset with the sounds of the unit, but I find it quite thin. I find the sound and the saturation is not in the models. I'm assuming it's because of the power, the amount of processing power that you can use. I would say these are sounds that are up to the same level of the Tonex, where if you use NAMs and you profile things, these are much better sounds, okay? And I have used the one of my Dumble profiles as a starting point. And you can see you can't really do very many things, but here I have a compressor, and I have that clone, which is the amp, and then I have another clone of my Gladio, the left side. And I actually have the Gladio here, and you can hear it's very, very close. Like the feel is pretty much spot on. And then I have a chorus. And then I have a delay. Again, you can see here, if I select, this is a 2290. Down here, it makes it very simple to tweak. I've not really felt like I needed the editor as much as I've used it. Obviously, I will use it to export and import presets. Felt the need to use the editor because you can do pretty much everything on the unit itself, and it's all touchscreen. So it's really, really quick to use. I'm using it as a pedal board for the time being, just the individual pedals. But I know you can set up scenes and stuff like that, which is not really the way I usually use these things. But let's go through the presets. This is one with a send to add pedals after the compressor, and make sure that the send is off. And obviously, this is the same preset by the send, so that you can add pedals in a different part of the patch, so to speak. This is a direct monitoring preset, and you can see that the send now is at the end. Again, it's the same patch minus, no, this is the same exact patch minus the pedal, because I use the pedals when I do gigs. And these are just to play functions. When I do function, like smaller function, where there is no separate monitor from the front of house, I actually sometimes monitor myself directly. So I put the band mix in the aux in, right here in the aux in, and I remove the guitar. And then through headphones, I listen to myself, basically the sounds that I made in the Ampero, mixed in with the rest of the band without the guitar, basically like jamming over a backing track. This is what you would do by jamming over the backing track. So I remove my guitar, and this way I hear the sounds that I have made. Obviously, this only works if you're wired, if your ears are wired. If you're wireless, it becomes a bit more difficult. You need a pack. But that's another way. And through that send, I basically do not use the output. I send the sound of the guitar out of the send. Sorry, it's a bit of play on words. And that's another way to monitor yourself. The next one, it's like the edge thing. And so you have that big delay, so to speak, the dotted 8-note delay. And then I think I made a spin off out of that one because I really like one of the delays that has this kind of glitchy. And it's all connected to the tap tempo, so you can play with that, so to speak, to have different effects. But I really like that kind of glitchy effect. And the next one is just a clean sound, which is a deluxe that I use. This feels a bit more flat, so to speak, as a sound. And again, I have the compressor. And then I have a modulation, which is a tremolo, obviously being a deluxe. And that's delay. Okay, quarter note delay, everything is tap tempo. Yeah, so this is basically what I've done so far. Again, the presets are going to be, you're going to be able to download them, and they will contain the profiles that I'm using of the pedals and everything else. Remember, there is that 9 profile folders in that zip file. Those are all 9 profiles of my pedals, and I will link a video where I show those pedals, how I profile those pedals for NAMM and Tonex, and you will be able to import them. It's super easy. You just go into the clone section. You obviously will need the editor. You'll go into that clone section, and you will be able to import those pedals. And I will make more sounds for this. I will continue to make presets for Line 6 and for the Tonex, because I enjoy using those. I really enjoy using this pedal. It's so much fun. It's super easy to use, and it allows me to get those other sounds that I enjoyed using in other plugins that I have, but they weren't super easy to tweak while I'm playing. Sometimes I do a lot of depping I just jump in gigs. I tend to make the sounds a couple of days before, so I have the need of tweaking as I go, sometimes tweaking as I play. So I need something that I can sort out very, very quickly, maybe during the sound check, and that I find with Tone X still sounds a tad better than this. I think there's a bit of an edge on the sound that is very difficult to, because you have to menu dive to um, to do anything really, to tweak. But the reverbs, delays, choruses are beautiful. I've got to say that some of the sounds are really good in this unit. The reverbs are great. Reverbs are great. Some of the delays are really good. The chorus and modulations are very usable. I really want to, I think, for whole tone mix. Just please add a mix with modulation, with a clean sound. It really helps. So the two button foot switch, it'd be great if that could be connected to the patch, not on the global settings. I don't know if that is possible to be done, or if it's something that is already, easy to do. But I think that would be a great add, a great thing to add to this unit. Overall, I love it. I really like. I think the first impression that I had from this unit was a bit strange because the presets obviously are made in a way to save processing power. Okay, so they don't sound as good as this, as I say, like the higher end profiles like Tone X Quad Cortex stuff like that, or the higher end plugins. But as I said, if you really use wisely the profiling feature, which is something relatively new on the Ampero 2, and you go and search for really nice nine profiles, or you can profile uh, amps from nicer plugins or nicer pedals. This unit is fantastic. It's really great because it's so easy to use with that touchscreen. It's really easy to navigate. I have not looked at the manual at all. Everything is clearly laid out. It's clearly explained. There's so many things that you can do. You can use. There are great sounds for acoustic guitar. The higher gain, which is something I don't really use, but the higher gain presets are really good. Fantastic unit. Great job for Old Town on this unit. As I said, I will definitely be making more presets, so keep an eye on this channel, and I will definitely be using this unit quite a bit more. So yeah, that's it for today. Again, I will link everything in the description. Thank you again for people that donated. If you can make a donation, that's great. It keeps me making more presets. And check out all the other stuff that I have in my links. There are links for, if you want some lessons, if you enjoy my playing, if you want to get some some pointers in there. There are there's educational material that I've made, like ebooks and backing tracks and other things. So yeah, that's it for today. Take care. Bye bye.